Today's coffee break. Doing good and earning points with Kiva microloans.
That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah, Kiva's a service I've been using for a long time now, and I figured it's time to tell our podcast audience all about it. Um, in general, Kiva is a clearinghouse for microlenders to help them find funding for microloans. So basically, all around the world, there are lots of different microlenders who, lend to people usually who are pretty needy that just need a little bit of money to, get supplies for their business, or sometimes it's even just things like they need some money so they can afford travel to be able to go to school. There's all kinds of things, reasons microloaners are out there, micro lending. And Kiva is sort of the Craigslist of micro lending, if you will. And what Kiva does is it lets you choose which loans you want to fund and how much to fund each one. You don't earn interest on these loans. At best, if all goes well, you earn 100% of your money back. But this is not a profit making opportunity here. However, you can pay for these loans with a credit card and there's no fee whatsoever.
Ooh, I like the sounds of that because if there's no fee, that means essentially you're earning rewards at, I'm going to say no cost, but I guess really if you talk about time cost of money and all that, we'll call it low cost. So yeah, without a fee, so you could be using that to earn points and miles on your existing cards, hit big spend bonuses, earn new welcome bonuses if you need to meet a certain amount of minimum spend and you need to get it done now. This could be a way to get that done quickly in a hurry, I suppose. But you called this like the Craigslist of micro lending, and Craigslist is a little shady. So I'm wondering, what's the catch here? What do I need to worry about if this is the Craigslist of micro lending?
Yeah, maybe that wasn't a good phrase. I think Kiva itself is very reputable,
Yeah.
and they do a lot to sort of audit the micro lenders to try to make sure that they're quality ones. They'll only onboard and keep micro lenders that are, from their point of view, actually doing good and keeping their promises and everything.
So it's not exactly
But
Craigslist, but
it's
there's
not
probably some
exactly
risks still.
Craigslist. And one more thing I want to say about paying the credit card fee is that Kiva doesn't eat that fee. PayPal graciously eats the fee for them. So that's a nice thing too. The money is still going to the microlenders without them having to worry about that fee. Anyway, there are things you need to worry about. So some cautions. You need to be able to float the money that you loan for quite a while. So don't think that, if you loan, let's say $1,000, don't think that you're going to get that $1,000 back in time to pay your credit card bill. It's you can expect more like 6 months, 8 months. It depends what kind of loans you pick as to how long it may take, but it can take a while. So
And
that
that's why I said that I struggled a little bit to call it no cost because I know a reader will correct me on that because with interest rates these days, $1,000 over 6 months would earn something. So you're not getting that if you don't have it in your bank account, but you're getting the advantage of doing some good in the world, hopefully.
Yeah. So as far as costs go, yes, there's the cost of money. You're not going to earn interest for all that time that your money's locked up. There's actual loss. Some loans don't pay back, or usually what happens is they don't pay back fully if someone defaults. And also, if you're hoping that loans will be like charitable donations on your taxes, that's not the case. These are loans, not charitable gifts. So those are some costs. But in addition to the costs, there's the caution. I was saying, like, how long can you float that money? There's no guarantee of payback. Usually they pay back, but there's no guarantee. The Kiva reports the average default rate of Kiva lenders at 1.82%. My current default rate is 1.73%. And that goes back many, many years. And so I don't know. I would not necessarily say that my experience is likely to be people's experience going forward, because Kiva changed a lot in many different ways since they since they started up and since I've been loaning through Kiva way back when. So, those are just some data points. I think the 1.82% is probably a safer data point to start with, since that's what Kiva reports as their average.
So I guess if you're, having an average default rate of 1.82%, and if we call that losing 1.82%, then, this isn't exactly free spend. It's spend that's going to cost you a little bit of something because of all of those things that Greg just mentioned. Some loss, obviously no interest on the money you got in the bank. So all right. So it's not totally free spend, but on the flip side, it's pretty easy spend, right?
It's really easy spend. There, in fact, there's a tool that makes it even easier spend. It's called KivaLens, which is Kiva, KivaLens. So there's no E at the end or anything like that. And if you go to kivalens.org, that's where you'll find this tool. Little caution, you have to go to HTTP, not HTTPS, to find this tool. Little trick there. But what's cool about this tool is it lets you filter your all the available Kiva loans by a number of things that you might be concerned with, such as what is the risk rating? Kiva rates all of the lenders with risk ratings, so you can filter to just the ones that are the least risky. You can pick ones that are not. There's no chance of currency exchange loss. You can pick ones with where the dispersal days is very soon. I'm not going to get into what that means, but you want it to be a smaller number there. You can also filter to things like what's the delinquency rate and default rate of these micro lenders. So it's not of the particular borrower on the ground. It's these micro lenders because they have more data for the lenders than the individual borrowers.
And that's probably a more useful data point because it gives you an idea as to the type of risk that lender takes on, right? Because if
exactly.
And
finally, you could do things like sort by the final repayment date, or more complicated date half is paid back, then 75%, then fully paid back. And by doing that, the reason you might want to do that is if your goal is to try to get paid back more quickly, then they have all these filters and things for doing that. So anyway, big picture is Kiva and KivaLens as sort of an add-on helps you. It makes it possible to make these loans with your credit card and earn rewards. Get most of that money back, not all of it necessarily, and most importantly, do good. I wrote a lengthy post a couple years ago about how much good I believe they do. There has been controversy in the micro lending world about these things, but if you read the details, I think you'll find that they are doing good. I think they're doing a lot of good, and so I feel good about supporting these loans, even if it's not always a winning proposition or even a break even.
There you go. So you got a good opportunity to pick up spend at pretty low cost in your pajamas from home and also do some good in the world. So Kiva Loans. If you've not read about it, you should check the link in the description because Greg has written quite a bit about Kiva Loans. And so we'll give you a link to be able to find more information.